Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please continue.
हाँ, एक मिनिट. I will again share the things.
हा मध्ये ब्रेक झालं होतं सर थोडंसं.
Yeah. So what we are discussing, that is nothing but so 256 by 256. If you have a database of 200 or 400, see the number crunching which we have. Then if you involve more data, you will get training set, you will get accurate result, but at the cost of computational efficiency. So it is very difficult to go with real time problems, real time issues which we have. So for that, what we are doing it, that is nothing but
Sir, please unmute yourself.
yeah, but there is a problem with some connections.
Yes.
Uh,
Okay.
Please bear. So what we are
Yes.
discussing, that is nothing but, so what they are doing it, that is instead of storing the images, that is 256 by 256, and suppose we have, that is nothing but uh, for every face we have a 20 different poses or 10 different poses, and like this we have a 20 faces. So total it is, we have 200 faces and 256 by 256 which we have. And if you go with this is a large memory which you required it, and computational efficiency timing is also required. So what they do it, instead of storing the complete face, what they do, that is nothing but they store only the features of that particular face. So you can say that is size is reduced, and if size is reduced, then only features are stored. So number crunching, that will be, or the application of algorithm, that will be also very easy, and that will be go in real time problem one which we have. Simple which I will tell you, that is in if you go with stock markets, or if you go with weather forecasting and all, that is nothing but image mining, or to be precise we called it, it's a image mining which we have. So it is there, it may be 3D images which we are converting to 2D images, and there are a lot of images which we have to predict, like this taute and all, and exact locations, what will be happen after 4 hours or 3 hours. We don't have that much prediction which we have. So there is a large data, huge data is there. So instead of this, they will go with some feature storage, that is representation of that particular, in short, representation of that particular image with only some features. So their size is reduced. So that means you can do number crunching, or in real time, or it is in less time, that we can do it. एक minute, please.
हेलो। ओके 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 ओके, ठीक है ठीक है, ओके।
Sushan sir,
यस सर।
huh, just me, I am sharing again. Huh?
यस 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 सर।
हा वायफाय डाऊन झालेला होता. सारखी
ओके
लाईन
सर।
जाते कारण आमची.
हाँ सर, यस
जस्ट वेट.
यस।
हा सो
यस सर, इट इज विजिबल।
yeah. So now we have reached to unsupervised learning. That is, I have given one example that is nothing but dimensional reduction. So the example is that is famous, that is nothing but PCI, that is principal component analysis. So it is not basically, it is a control system aspect, and control system aspect, that is eigenvalues and eigenvectors, and that they have implemented in signal processing, or you can say image processing. This is one example. Another is nothing but another one that is called as the linear discriminator analysis, or it is a LDA problem. So in image processing, these two are the PCA is a very popular method. Then the application is more important. It is a first application. There are a lot of applications. Only I have taken 2-3 applications. Recommender systems. Uh, so I have taken this example, that is for YouTube or Netflix. That is nothing but any, if you watching any video, and if you watch any political video, then you will get, that is nothing but in history, then he will give you recommended videos like this. That is, you please watch this watch this watch. That means from where you will get, that is nothing but he has a data, he has a history. That is called as the recommender systems. And this is, you can say, applicable everywhere whenever you go on YouTube, Netflix. That is, then buying habits, this is another one. That is, already I told you, data analytics. Buying habits in super markets and all. That is, uh, people are what buying, what are their habits, how you can club, what to show in front. So it is buying habits, they study it. Basically buying habit means anything which has a data. That data they crunch it, they analyze it. From this they do the inference from this, and they do, that is nothing but the, you can say, uh, they do the business based on this. Another one is grouping user logs. This is important one. Basically this is used in chat box and all, or any, you can say, company's website or anything, you will get it. Suppose if you have a automobile industry or a servicing station which we have, so a particular one which you have a problem. This is one example which I am giving. That is the customer complaints. That is, this has some ignition problem, or it is a battery down problem, or it is nothing but this is frequently problem. This is comes in the, before rainy season and all. So all these are nothing but they, company collect all these user logs, collect it based on this. That is, they go for FAQ and all, and this is the way. That is nothing but they group it and put it, that is chat box. If you have any type of problem, go to chat box, have a discussion, you will get solution. So that is nothing but grouping user logs which we have. And this is in nutshell. You will get different methods, uh, which I already explained you. That is, we can categorize specific technique according to type of learning and the problem to be tackled. That is supervised learning, I told you, classification problem. That is, sorry, output will get classification, or you will get regression. So classification, that is nothing but classification based on what? Based on decision trees, support vector machine, SVM. This is most important popular machine which we have, support vector machines. K nearest neighbor which we have. Then logistic regression, random forest, naive Bayes which we have. So these are nothing but these are some sort of a algorithm which we have. Then regression, I already told you, linear regression, then ordinary least square regressions, then local regression which we have. And in all these cases, how you go on checking, that is nothing but every time desired output, whether actual output is compared with on finding out, then you keep some threshold. And every time, if the error is more than that particular threshold, then again you have to go on repeating one. And till either you will get it, difference between desired output and actual output, that we called it, it's a error within the tolerable limit, then we stop it. Otherwise we will continue it till you will get desired output. Again there is a question, that is nothing but till if you are not getting the desired output equal to actual output within the tolerance band, and if you go on, that is nothing but algorithm go on checking every time, then there is a time required is very high. So we have to trade off between this. So in that case, what they do it, that is nothing but they put another one that is called as the epoch in neural networks or in supervised learning. So how many times that algorithm will run? So we make some threshold error. If it is nearer to that, go on checking. If it is within the tolerance band, then stop. If it is not, then if you make it epochs 1000 or 500, if you reach to that one, then you have to stop it. Who will decide? That is nothing but user is decided. How it decided? Depending on the what is the output which he required it. Based on this, that is, he go on doing it. Then unsupervised learning. Already I told you dimension reduction, principal component analysis, PCA method, that is eigenvalues and eigenvectors. And uh, basically you represent a matrix with the eigenvalues, that these are nothing but you have to find out the roots of that particular matrix and then you represent it. Then linear discriminant analysis, LDA method. Then clustering analysis, cluster of data. K means clustering, hierarchical clustering which we have. So whenever we go with this, normally if you want to find out a simple example which I will give you, that is cluster analysis. Suppose if you want to find out the in Nashik region, Gangapur area, what is the cost of house, or what is the flat, what is the price for square foot for the flats in Gangapur region. So that is nothing more. It is not necessary that if it is a 5,000, everywhere it is not 5,000. Somewhere it is 4.4900. Somewhere it is 5500. Like this. So it is a clustering of this, and from this that is nothing but we say that the average price for the Gangapur region uh, uh, in Gangapur area is around 5,000 rupees square foot. Like this. So this is a clustering technique which we have. Then last one, that is reinforced learning which we have. When the this is very interesting one. This is like a adaptive learning which we have, where the algorithm learns a policy of how to act given an observation of the world. Every action has some impact in the environment, and environment provides a feedback that guides the learning algorithm. So that means every time you go on taking the feedback from the environment or from the system. So this is something called as reinforced learning, or simple in control system language, it is called as adaptive learning. So it adopts every time, it adopts to the system. A simple example, that is our body is also adaptive to the system, adaptive to the environment. Similarly, in reinforced learning which we have, it's adaptive. That means a learner is a decision making agent. That is, learner means we are the learner that takes the action in the environment and receives reward or penalty for his action in trying to solve a problem. A simple example which I will give you, that is, if you are traveling first time by the local in Mumbai, and suppose if you try to get into the local train, fast local train, in busy hours, in office hours, then normally you cannot get into the system, get into the coach, because there is a difficulty. So sometimes you will not able to enter into it. Then what we are doing it, we say that now there is something wrong. We are entering this way. We have to enter by sideways. That means you learn from your action. So environment, and you receive the reward or penalty. Penalty means you cannot enter into it, that one. Reward means you are able to successfully entered into the local. So like this is adaptive learning. In the language of MSP, it is a reinforced learning in machine level languages. So if you go with this is simple, you can say algorithm type. This is agent, that means the learner which we have. He take the action. You, that is robot algorithm who takes the action. What action takes? Any action takes it. Set all possible moves the agent can make it. Suppose the robot is taking pick and place robo. So he is going action, environment, and it is a path. Obstacle is there. Now he cannot go over. Then he has to come back. Penalty. Then you have to find out different part. Right? So set of all possible moves the agent can make it. Action. Success, reward, or failure, 0 or 1, or 1 or minus 1, you can say anything. That is the space through environment is space through the agent moves, takes the agent current state, action, and provides next state and rewards. Where you find applications of all these things? All video games. Then chess, every action, number of moves. If you make it move, that is nothing but computer. he used to play intelligently because he learned this reinforced learning which we have. That is, if you go with this, if you make it this move, then there is a possibility that opponent will checkmate. So he will take the calculations, and then he will make a move such that that is opponent cannot make the move or he cannot defeat you. So that is nothing but it's a reinforced learning which we have. So example is already I told you, video games, chess, computer chess game, industrial simulation which we have. Already I told you that is nothing but uh, uh, pick and place, robo action. That is first path we have to define it. You have to define the path. You have to simulate it. You have to check it. Whatever the possible obstacles are there, you have to avoid it, and you have to reach to destination. So you have to simulate it. So all it is nothing but it's a reinforced learning. Then the this is another good example which we have, resource management. Resource management. So Google data centers which we have. So already you must be able to retrieve the data fast. At the same time, bandwidth required is low. In some cases, there is a temperature also. So that means it should be environment friendly. So resource management, you have to do it efficiently. So that is nothing but how you will do it, resource management efficiently. That is nothing but that is you have to learn. You have to this company people they learn it from the experience. They make it changes. So it is more important nowadays. Bandwidth and data, it is more important. So that is managing a Google data centers. It is example of a reinforced market. So this is not in nutshell whatever we have studied, algorithm with applications. That is, these are the three major types. Whatever remaining, they are the subtypes. But this is the major three types of machine learning. So we'll go with one by one. Machine learning, it's a supervised learning which we have. Supervised learning, we have two that is two outputs. One is the classification, one is the regression. So classification problem, which we already I told you, customer retention, advertisement popularity, image classification, face recognition, identity face fraud detection, which we have, diagnostic, which we have another problem, uh, malaria detection and all. So that is nothing but using image processing. Or then regression, which we have, advertising popularity, estimating life expectancy, population growth prediction, which we have. Then if you go with unsupervised learning, I told you two things, clustering. So clustering is recommended system, YouTube, Netflix, targeted marketing, which we have, customer segmentation. So you have to take the customer segmentations. That is, depending on that, you can classify it depending on this input, whatever the logistic which you required, what is the inventory which you required it, that you can procure. Then dimensional reduction, already I told you, dimensional reduction, it is a big data visualization. This is more important, dimensionally visual reduction. Feature estimations, structural discovery, meaningful compression. Another example is meaningful compression, which we have. So this is, you take it any field, that is nothing but you will find out the application of machine learning in every field. This is simple cases, simple applications which we have taken 2-3 for every uh, either it is a classification, regression, then it is a clustering, then dimensional reduction, or reinforced learning. For reinforced learning, which we have real-time discussion, already I told you, chatbots and all, a user logbook, game AI, artificial intelligence, skill acquisition, that is nothing but acquiring the skill, learning tasks, robot navigation, that example which we have discussed, robot navigation. So this is nothing but this is major part which we have covered, machine learning and different types. This is more useful those who are pursuing their PhD and all those who are doing research. Semi-supervised learning. Now, once you understand supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and reinforced learning, then this is nothing but it is sub part of this. So whatever the limitations of the data and all, so that to overcome that, they are using these different techniques. Semi-supervised learning, which combines, it is semi-supervised, which combines both the label and the unlabeled example. Label example means supervised, unlabeled means it is unsupervised, to generate appropriate function or classifier. It makes use of large amount of unlabeled data for training and small amount of labeled data for testing. Small amount of labeled data for testing, that means it is supervised. Unlabeled data for training, that means unsupervised. So it is nothing but, if you are using more data, labeled data, then it takes more time, then you require more memory. So in that case, they use it semi-supervised learning. Where you find application of this semi-supervised learning is applied cases where it is expensive to acquire. See, I already told you, semi-supervised learning is applied in cases where it is expensive to apply fully labeled data set, while more practical to label a small subset. For example, many problems for the field of, see all this, it is a computer vision, NLP, you will find out more application in NLPs. Computer vision, image data, natural language processing, text data, automatic speech recognition fall in this category. Cannot be easily addressed using a standard supervised learning method. So it is a subset of, you can say, semi-supervised. This is self-supervised, another one. Self-supervised learning refers to an unsupervised learning problem that is framed as supervised learning problem. That means unsupervised learning problem is framed as supervised learning. A common example of this is computer vision, where corpus of unlabeled images. Computer vision is what? Corpus of unlabeled images is available, can be used to train supervised model. You can use it. Or making a image grayscale and having a model predict a color representation. So you have a image grayscale and you have to predict model to predict a color representation, or this process is called as colorization. Or removing a block of image and have a model to predict the missing part, that is, we called it in painting. So for this, you you are using self-supervised multi-instant, and in this fashion we go towards deep learning. In multi-instant learning, an entire collection of example is uh, labeled as containing or not containing an example of a class. So their classification, what we have done, individual one, class, but it is not a class, collection of example. Entire collection of example is labeled as containing or not containing, as example of class. But the individual member of collecting, you are labeling individual. It is the examples are labeled as containing or instant learning, which we have. This is inductive learning. This is simple. This is day to day, which we are using is inductive learning, using evidences to determine the output. Inductive reasoning refers to using a specific cases to determine generalized outcomes. That is specific to general. So for specific cases, from whatever you are trained, that means what? Whatever the experience you come across, individual people, from this you make it hypothesis in general. Specific cases to determine general outcomes, that is called as the specific to general. Exactly opposite, deductive inference, using general rule to determine specific outcomes. This is transconductive is different. Here it is specific to specific. Transconductive learning is used in the field of statistical learning theory to refer to the predicting specific example given a specific example from a domain. Basically, data analytics, similar to supervised learning, but does not explicitly construct a function. Instead, tries to predict new output based on training outputs, new inputs, predicting specific output or specific output. How this three looks like, now you will come to know. From specific example, approximate function. That means from specific to general. Induction. From approximate function to specific, values of the function at point of interest. That means specific. Deduction. And transduction is what? From specific example to specific value. That is nothing but, that is we called it is transconductions. So it is subtypes basically which we have. Then last type of learning techniques which we have, that is multitask learning. See here, it is once you understand first three, then these are nothing but subsets. It is a type of supervised learning that involves fitting a model on one data set that addresses multiple related problems. Example is natural language processing. Already I told you, natural language processing, computer vision, where it is very complex. Speech recognition system, very complex. There you will find out the application of this multitask, fitting one model for multiple addresses, multiple related problems which we have. Active learning, it is a technique where model is able to query a human user operator during a learning process in resolve ambiguity during the learning process. Again, it's a supervised learning. Whenever it is you are learning, that means machine is learning, whatever the ambiguity you have to learning process, you are trying to solve this, that is called as active learning. Transfer learning, it's a type of learning where model is first trained on one task and then some of or all the model is used as a starting point for related tasks. See, difference is transfer learning. What we have done, we have trained the model and accordingly you will get the output. But here, first model is trained, then it will use as a starting point for related tasks. Transfer learning is particularly useful that models are incrementally trained because this will use as a starting point and then for specific problem, related problem. So it is nothing but you will get incremental. An existing model can be used as a starting point for continued training such as deep learning networks. Already I told you, this is nothing but like this we are reached to deep learning networks. You know advantages of all this. This is another, last one is another one, ensemble learning which we have. The approach is totally different. Approach where two or more models are fit on the same data and prediction from each models are combined. Prediction from each models are combined. The objective of ensemble learning to achieve better performance with the ensemble model as compared to individual model. Up till now, we have done individually modeling. Now here we are combining more than one model to get the better response. So this is called as ensemble learning. In short, whatever we are doing it, that is two things are more important. One, three things basically. You must get it the required output. Then system should be in real time world. Computational efficiency is very fast and memory requirement is very low. So for all these things, these are the different techniques which we have. But the basic, there are basic only three types which we have. That is supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and reinforced learning which we have. So thank you. Here I finish the, you can say, machine learning and it types. If you have any questions, the forum is open. You are free to ask. So I am stop the sharing.
Thank you, sir. Participant, please put your questions in chat box, or you can unmute yourself and directly ask to this, sir. No issue.
See, some has asked what is induction, deduction, transaction with the example. Now, simple I will tell you, that is nothing but if I train any system, see if I get it, you can say experience from one class like this, that is one or two people, they are not cooperating. So what is my inference from that particular class is simple, is this class is not cooperating for me. That is the case of inductive learning. That is from specific to generalized. I come across specific problem and I make it, this is generalized. And opposite is descriptive problem which we have. Sorry, deductive one which we have. So it is nothing but you can correlate very well with real world problems which we have. See, SVM is a support in multi-class image classification, yes. And it is very popularly, people are using it in this support vector machines. So all problems, basically, we are using it. See, another one example which we have, that is already I told you, image mining. Now it is a very hot topic which we have, image mining. And image mining, lot of problems we can predict it using this. And another in data analytics which we have, that is more jobs, more placements, or more jobs, or more market rather, which we have in share markets and all predictions, and that too, that is in real time one.
Sir.
So
There
in
is
ML,
one
it is
question.
possible to get multiple output, both scalar and specific? No. If you have any problem, please feel free. So you can do a lot of projects using this. Or might be some people have already done these projects with some, whatever I have shown you one slide, that is gist of this. Their classification, and it is in here. All already people have used it.
Yes, sir. So, okay, I think no question. Sangolia sir, are you there?
Yes, sir.
And if you have any problem, anything, any query, already I have given you my email ID, stgandhi@gmail.com. Another is the principal@sitrc.org. You can contact anytime.
Yes, sir. We will provide all the resource person detail at the end of the sessions.
Okay.
So I think we have to conclude the session. I request Sangolia sir to offer a vote of thanks to our today's resource person, Dr. S.T. Gandhi sir. Sangolia sir, please.
Thank you, Sushant sir. Good afternoon, everyone. Indeed, it was a wonderful session. It's a pleasure to have such a learned person as our resource speaker. I am Mosam Sangole, and I am here to present vote of thanks for today's session. On behalf of Sandeep Foundation, Sandeep Institute of Engineering and Management, I would like to thank Dr. S.T. Gandhi sir for enlightening us with their knowledge. Today's session was full of knowledge and interesting things. It gave deep insights into the topic and also revealed some interesting facts. I'm pretty sure the precious knowledge that sir gave us will definitely help us in our studies and future. Once again, I would like to thank sir for taking out time and enlightening us with the knowledge. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So shall I leave, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. So participant, please fill the attendance link, attendance and feedback on the link. And tomorrow's session will be more interesting. That Professor Dr. Manish B. Kokre sir will be joining tomorrow's session. Tomorrow 2 sessions will have Kokre sir, and then third session will be Dr. Gitanjali ma'am from Sinhagad, Pune. So tomorrow's it will be more interesting session related to the machine learning. So now in these 3 days, we have studied the background platform of machine learning, required machine learning, that is data analytics and Python. So now we are focusing towards the particular applications of machine learning and data analytics. So please be cooperate with us. Thank you for your cooperation till date. We will meet again in the tomorrow session. Thank you all. Thank you. This session is open. The link is open. I'll open, keep on the session on 5 minutes. So you can fill the attendance. No issue.